Hey guys, I know that there's been some of you requesting to see me do some floral work, so I figured I had a couple of wreaths to make for some clients. I'd bring you along and just kind of talk you through what I do. So this, it's an 18-inch grapevine wreath, and what I like to do, first step, is to go through and just kind of clean stuff up, make it look a little nicer, a little more presentable. Get all these wild pieces tamed so that it looks a little nicer. And yes, these are messy. They shed. But this is what the customer wanted, so this is what they get. Next step is cleaning up these leaves. Because, I mean, some brands are worse for it than others. Seems Hobby Lobby's been getting kind of bad about it here lately. So, there's a wholesale company that I also go through to get my wreath frames and bases and all that. So, I think I might be looking into that a little more seriously, just so I don't have to fool with this every single time. But yeah, the leaves are dried out and they'll come to pieces on you. You'll have a mess, but not that big of a deal. I just want it to look nice to start out with. And clean up my mess. And I would suggest, if you're gluing flowers in these, that while you're cleaning up your wreath form, you plug in your hot glue gun, which I did not. Please hold. So, these are the sticks that I use in my hot glue gun. This brand seems to work really well for me, so that's what I use. But when you're doing these projects, you want to make sure that you have these at the ready. Hopefully that's not too loud in your ears. We're going to use these as a base today. These came from Hobby Lobby. They were, $11.99, and I think these were 40% off if memory serves correct. But yeah, this is going to be essentially the base of the wreath. So to start with, we're just going to get rid of that price tag, because we don't want that. And then we're just going to piece these branches out. Make sure you're leaving enough excess to glue in to your wreath base. And you're left with a ridiculously long stem, which, I mean, some people repurpose them. I throw them away. But I'm going to go through and get all of those wrap. So that we can work fast. You don't want to leave like a ridiculously long stem on this, just enough to tuck in. Because if not, you'll get kind of like weird placement. And yes, I know, I'm using my good fabric scissors to take off price tags. Gasp. Somebody somewhere will be having a fit, I'm sure. Also have these pumpkins, and let's see, these were $8.99, and again, I'm pretty sure they were 40% off. And these we're gonna leave intact for right now. Haven't quite decided what I'm doing with these. This is going to be an outdoor wreath, so these may not fare so well, but again, it's what she wanted, so it's what she's gonna get. Okay, hot glue gun's heated up. We're gonna get the show on the road. Sorry for any noise in the background. Homeschool's going on, and the dogs are out on the deck, and they have the zoomies, so apologies if I'm a little hard to hear. You just start putting your florals in. Get rid of any glue strings because they look horrible. And then you just kind of want to get your stuff situated in there. And this glue sets up pretty quick, so. And you just rotate your wreath. And then you can go back and fill in any gaps or whatever, because I mean these are meant to look a little natural. They're not completely full on both sides. But what I like to try to do is kind of eye up, which I did this off camera. You eye up your placement before you start going in. That way you know that you have enough for the whole wreath. And then it goes pretty quick. So you just kind of line it up there. And some of these stems have acorns and some of them do not. So I'm trying not to make the wreath look too heavy on one side by having all of them in one place with the acorns. So I try to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, we're going to have plenty for that, so. But that kind of gives you an idea of placement and everything so that you're not, like, gluing stuff in and then like, crap, it's not where I wanted it. It just kind of helps expedite things. Gives you a clearer picture of what to expect the end product is going to look like. Sometimes the wreath, because it's natural, doesn't want to cooperate. So you may have to do some finagling. But it's all right. You make it work. Let's make sure I like that one. We're going to set that one off to the side. That one doesn't have acorns on it. You want to make sure you're anchoring it in a good spot where it's not going to pop up out. Especially since this one's going outside, I want to make sure, like really sure, that these are secured well. The ones that are inside you don't have to worry as much about, but I mean, you still want to make sure it's secure. And these you may at times have to manipulate. And these are wired anyway, so that way if something's not laying right, you can adjust it. Oh, that one's shedding leaves. Where did you come from? Well, we're going to glue that one back on. Dogs are having a good time. I don't know if you can hear Hank bellowing in the background. Between kids, livestock, and dogs, there's not much quiet on this homestead. But that's alright. I love every minute of it. And you just keep rotating it as you go until you get this finished, and then I'll be back. Something else I meant to mention, I mean, don't worry too much about the gaps here. Those will actually, I'm putting more than just this in here. There's going to be layers of florals put in. So, I mean, if it looks a little bit sparse, don't panic. It's far from done. Okay, so I got all that filled in. I decided I didn't want to do all of the same leaf style. So I ran back to Hobby Lobby and I got these like burgundy branches. And I think I'm gonna, to give it just a little something other than, you know, red, orange, and green. Because when the leaves change, they're not all those colors. And I also picked up these sunflowers, which I thought would look really nice together. So I'm going to start taking these apart, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got these guys separated into thirds, and I'm just going to start gluing them in. This spot's where I see there's a little something missing. And a little bit of color. Pop one in. You see how that kind of breaks it up? It's not all the same colors. It gives it a little more dimension. And it looks a little more realistic. And my glue gun fell over. I mean, once you have all of the price tags cut off and have this stuff separated, this goes pretty quick. I mean, it's pretty cut and dried. I'm missing a little bit right here. Make sure you're looking for your glue strings and that kind of thing, because that doesn't look good. We don't want that showing. And see how it's kind of starting to take shape. So what I like to do before putting the florals in, like gluing them in, is, I mean, these are pretty, let me see the size of my hand, these are pretty substantial sunflowers. So in order to not throw the wreath off balance or make it look too heavy, I just kind of stage your flowers before you glue. Number one, to see if you're going to have enough to make the wreath look right. And number two, just to see if it's going to be too wonky looking before you make anything permanent. So, I'm thinking for this one 5, and then maybe go back with a smaller floral to kind of balance it. I'm going to have to check my stash. But, you know, just kind of lay things out and see what it looks like before you start gluing. That can be a very expensive mistake. But yeah, I got these at Hobby Lobby too. These were $3.99, and they were, I think they were 40% off. I'm pretty sure all the fall stuff is 40% off right now. Okay, got the stems cut off, and I got them staged back in the wreath. I'm going to start gluing these in one at a time, and I leave them in place just so I don't wind up messing up and gluing a couple of them closer together than others. It just kind of holds its place there. So you just start gluing them in. And you want the stem to go in at an angle. You can always wiggle its head around after the glue's set if you want it angled outward, or if you want it angled like it was before. But yeah, the downside when you cut this type, they're wrapped in this like brown paper. You just put a little dot of glue on it and do that so it doesn't continue to unravel. But once you cut the stem on these, that paper starts to unravel. So you definitely want to address that before you start putting it in a wreath. Otherwise, you're going to have issues. Make sure when you're gluing, you're actually gluing it down into the wreath and not to the other foliage. Which, I don't know why this glue's not sticking. Even my hot glue gun came undone. Please hold. Just give it time before you go wiggling it too much. Just make sure it's in there good and the glue's dried. I'm already losing leaves. And you just keep rotating your wreath until you get them all glued in. See, this one's doing the same thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little dot of glue there. Do not burn yourself. Glue guns are very hot. Burnt myself 1,000,001 times. It's like, I'm surprised I have fingerprints left. And make sure you get it anchored down in there good. Especially since these are going outside, I really want to make sure that they have good strong anchor points. Inside doesn't see the abuse that the outside wreaths do. And they make UV spray that you can spray these with to keep your elements from fading if you want. But when you have something like, these are almost like a velvet in texture. And I don't think that once you sprayed it with the UV spray that these would look as nice anymore. So I'm not going to do that. And then from there, once you've glued them all in, then you can start wiggling them around because the glue will be set. If you want them facing forward or if you want them at an angle, that's fine. And then what I like to do is hang this up on my wreath hanger over my door, and to just kind of look and see what it looks like. If anything's out of balance, then I can add more leaves and kind of, you know, round it out a little. Alright, y'all, that's going to be it for this video. If you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, and let me know in the comments in the future, what videos do you want to see? Do you want to see more floral content? Do you want to see more gardening content, foraging? Like, give me some ideas, guys.